Welcome back to my channel. This is what I've been using in the mallet out here in the shop for about a year. I don't like it, so today I made not one, but two mallets. Stick around and check it out. I began by grabbing a scrap piece of mahogany. I got it on the jointer, jointed the face side first before turning it sideways and joining one of the sides. I know my jointer's square because I checked it before I cut, but I grabbed a square and decided to make sure my wood was square. Moving on to the planer. I planed the mahogany along with a piece of purple heart that I had left over from the tensegrity stand I made sure these were the same thickness. It's about time I start thinking about dust collection in the shop. It would make this process a lot easier. Here, I'm just taking a minute and cleaning up before moving on. Look, magic. No, I'm just kidding, I did that. I ripped the mahogany down to 2.5 inches. It was about this time I decided I was going to make two mallets. Why not? What I'm doing here is I'm cutting down the purple heart into 2.5-inch sections. This is what's going to be on the inside of the mallet, sandwiched in between the mahogany. I cut the remaining purple heart to 1.5 inches. This is what's going to be used for the handle portion of the mallet. I then got the crosscut sled out and cut the 1.5-inch strip of purple heart in half. It was about 13 inches. I then used the crosscut sled to put shoulders on the handle. This is the top side of the handle that's going to go into the head of the mallet. The shoulders on the handle came out looking alright. However, I did have to get a couple sharp chisels and clean them up just a little bit. I took a quick measurement to see what I was going to cut the mahogany down to, and that measurement was just under 4.75 inches. To eliminate as much tear out as possible, I used the crosscut sled and cut 4 pieces of the mahogany. I used mineral spirits and got the purple heart and the mahogany cleaned up. I then carefully got the head portion of the mallet glued up. This was pretty quick and easy, and now it was on to work on the handle some more. Using the table saw on the crosscut sled, I put about a 2-inch notch at the top side of the handle. This is what's going to accept the wedge to really help hold this thing together. That notch I was just talking about, well, there it is. I then got the router table set up and rounded over the handle. I started this thing about 1 inch from the bottom of the handle, and I stopped the round over about 1/2 inch from where the handle slides into the mallet. And there's what I just did. Overall, it looks pretty good. However, I've got some burn marks, and that's most likely just from cheap router bits. Nothing a sander can't clean up. I used the miter saw to cut a 3-degree wedge. There it is falling into the throw plate. I then took the plate off and retrieved my wedge. I cut another one. I think they look pretty good. Once the heads to the mallet were dry, I removed the clamps and cleaned up the leftover glue there with the belt sander. Using a miter gauge on the table saw, I cut each side of the head to 3 degrees. Using the router table and the same round over bit I used for the handles, I rounded over all sides on the head. Well, would you look at that? I have the head to a mallet. Everybody's favorite part. More sanding. The head was a lot easier to clean up. For some reason, the mahogany did not burn like the purple heart did. After I got it sanded down, I put it together for a dry fit up before gluing it all together. Though I didn't show it, I did use mineral spirits again and clean the wood up. I then put a healthy coat of glue on all surfaces that are going to be touching and hammered the wedge in. I found hammering the wedge in a pretty satisfying process. After having more fun than I should have hammering the wedge, I got a wet cloth and cleaned up the glue mess. In hindsight, I probably used too much glue, but it's easy enough to clean up. After giving the glue sufficient time to dry, I then used the bandsaw to cut the top of the handle off that was a little proud of the mallet head. This is what I was left with after the bandsaw. It was pretty quick and painless to just clean that up real quick on the belt sander. After cleaning the mallet again with mineral spirits and letting that dry, I applied a couple coats of boiled linseed oil. I then wiped the oil off and was really happy with the final products. Here it is. This was a super fun build, guys. It was really quick, easy. Anybody can make this kind of stuff. So I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.